Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. And we are going to be talking about music in general, the good, the bad, and the ugly, just to give you my thoughts on what I like or dislike and all that in between. But first, I do have some special shout outs to give to my newest subscribers. When I know who you are, I'm going to give you a shout out. And the only ones I got notifications for was Antonio Diaz, and Simply J, which I like that. It's just one letter. Very, very neat. I do like that. So thank you, thank you, thank you for checking out my channel, and I hope you get everything that you're looking for. Now to get into some of this talk, okay? My good friend Robert came over to lend me some CDs and that. So, a couple that he wanted me to check out, and a couple that I really needed to get into. Now, what I'm going to be talking about first, of course, is a local band I've talked about before, but I want to push this a little bit is I want to do a proper review of these. I want to get my own copies, definitely for sure, because I know how good they are. But he lent me one of their newest albums, of course, Planet of Song. I'm going to be giving that. Probably, I'm going to be borrowing this for about 2 weeks or so. Well, all these four albums that he lent me. But definitely, I'm going to be listening to that very soon. It's probably the next two things I listen to is this. I want to hear it in the earphones and that so I can do a proper review of this. And an older album from 2007 called Two Birds by the Great Balancing Act. And I'm not sure he changed his stage name, but in this one here, he's going by the name of James Sky. But I'm sure it's still Jeep Jones, which is the guy with the glasses and the hat on this guy right here, Jeep Jones. Really cool guy. I'm so glad that I got a chance to meet him, and I could consider him a friend, definitely, because he's a really really cool guy and super talented too. He's an artist and everything, and yeah, my type of person for sure. So I can't wait to get into these and give you a proper review of those in the next day or so. So I'm actually really really looking forward to that. But my friend Robert also lent me this here, of course, the calling them the Chicago, but it's Chicago. It's their is I don't it's yeah it's their debut album, digitally remastered and everything. So those are I don't know how well you can see that. So those are the tracks on there, and then he lent me another CD called Petunia and from the Petunia and the Vipers. Apparently, Petunia is from New Brunswick here in the area. So, and I find Petunia looks very much on here like Elvis Costello. It's like I guess it's more like 50s and 60s swing and stuff like that, or 40s and 50s swing. I'm actually very much looking into it. So once I do the review of these two albums by the Great Balancing Act, I will be doing a review of the Chicago album and Petunia and the Vipers Calling Me Back. So look forward to that. I want to do that before the week is over, by at least by Thursday for sure. Now to get into some music talk, a little bit more in depth. The first thing I kind of want to show you here is that I had converted my heavy rotation box into a music I need to get to box because I went through most of it. There's only three CDs left that I hadn't gotten to, but I have gotten through most of what I was already in there, and so I added some more in there to get to within before the end of the year for sure. But I've been going through them pretty fast. I might slow down a little bit because I want to review these and that, and for sure. Plus, I want to play more Beatles. I want to play some more Sparks. And some more King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. I've been playing a lot of that lately. But what I still have to get to, and I hadn't gotten to yet, is of course the Moody Blues, Days of Future Past. I still need to listen to the Essential Monkeys again, and I do need to listen to the to Metallica's 72 season. So those are a must to get into. But now everything that I need to get to listening to again are all stuff that I do really like, and if I see any more of their albums in that, I want to get them for sure. Most of these, not all of them, but most of these are greatest hits. No, actually no, half of them are actually no, a little less than the half are greatest hits. But I do have the Manfred Mann and Earth Band greatest hits in there. I really want to get into listening to this again because I know there's some good stuff on that, and I only think I only played this maybe twice, and that was quite a while ago. So I know I enjoyed it, so I need to play that again. It's been a while since I have played this, but I know I enjoy this stuff very much, which is the Alan Parsons Project, the collection. And like I do like this, but I hadn't played it in a while, so I know I want to get back into that. Now there's a little known guy named who goes by the David Wilcox. This is a greatest hits. Uh I think it was the song uh Do the Bearcat, and there was Laying Pipe that I thought was really good, but the whole album is good. It's a little more obscure of a band, but if you know who David Wilcox is, I really enjoyed that. Again, it's been a while since I played it, so I need to get into that. Plus, I have in here some Cheap Trick, which is in the lap of luxury, of course. So I do want to get back into that. It's a pretty good album, and if I see more Cheap Trick, I probably will get it. I got in here the Gowan Strange Animal, which I really do like. I want to see more about getting into his sampling some of his other works in that, but I think this is an underrated album for Gowan. I mean, he's kind of you don't hear anything about Gowan at all anymore, but that is really cool. I haven't played it since I gotten it, and I am kept on meaning to get to it. So now that it's in here, I will be. Is that Van Halen OU812 that I got from Larry Graves in that awesome package he sent me a while back. So yeah, I do need to get into that. I'm a big fan. I only played these once since I got them, but I know I still really like them. It's the Two Killer Dwarf albums. I think is a self-titled album. Yeah, the self-titled album and their Method to the Madness album. I need to play that. There's another album I need to get of Killer Dwarf that has We Stand Alone and a couple of other songs that I remember loving the videos and liking those songs, so that's something I really want to get more of eventually, as I do like them. And then there, of course, there's the only Fu Manchu album I have called Clone of the Universe. And the last song is a pretty long song, and it's featuring Alex Lifeson of Rush on it. So I played this about 3 or 4 times, but I do want to play this again because I know I really enjoy it. I think it's a good album and want to get some more Fu Manchu albums for sure. So that is what is in my music I need to get to box. So, so yeah. Now I still have more stuff to talk about here. So, talking about electronic music, okay? I got a comment from one of my good subscribers there that pointed out that I must not like the early 80s electronic stuff. it was not necessarily true. There's a lot of the Rush stuff I do like. I'm a fan of Hold Your Fire and Counterparts. I think those are great albums. Not as good. I mean, they are the least best of the Rush albums in many respects. They're a little too frilly and too light, in tone than I would like. But I do like Grace Under Pressure. I really do love singles and signals, and I do like some of the I like Permanent Waves and all that stuff. I think and of course you can't like how awesome is moving pictures. It's epic. It's epic. And it has a lot of electronic stuff. Come on. Starting with Tom Sawyer. So I do like electronic stuff. And to show you to show you some more that I have that I do like, there's the Platinum Blonde. I like Platinum Blonde. And the 7-year itch, greatest hits. Everything in there is good. So I do like that stuff. I like Talk Talk. I get the essentials. Everything on here is really good. So I do like that. I mean, you got the Cars, the greatest hits. That's a fantastic greatest hits. It's one of my top greatest hits that I can put on any time, and I do love it. And now, yeah. Now again, I had brought up soft cells. This, yeah, this except for that one song, "Tainted Love," which again is not by this by soft cell, is by Gloria Jones. Yeah, I tried with this, and it's just not my style of music. So I do apologize for those who do like it, but I can't get into it. But I tell you, I love this. I love this Peter Schilling, and it's all in German. It's German, but yet I think it's fantastic, and I have played this more than a few times because it really is a interesting album, and I wish I could learn German so I can understand more of it. I mean, I do love Ramstein, and there's a KMFDM, which I'm a big fan of, which has a lot of German songs in there, all in German, but mostly in English, of course. But they have some French and they have some Spanish and maybe even a little bit of Latin in there. But it's all a mix, and I love it all. There's not much in the KMFDM that I don't like. But now, when it comes to this next one here, I love all of this. Okay, as Gary Newman and Tubeway Army, the premier hits. This whole thing is good. I can put that on and let that play no problem. But for some reason, this techno pop I have of Gary Newman, okay, where he's doing his solo stuff, I'm not that crazy for it. I mean, this is top notch, and but this gets a much lower score for me because I tried listening to it and it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the voice. It's the softer, fluffier musicality of it. There's more of an edge with this stuff, and I find his voice is much better with that. I had given to Larry's radio show "My Machines" by Battles, which features Gary Newman singing on it, and I love that. I think it's great, because the music is so like complements hi- Gary Newman's voice. And people may not like his voice, but I do like his voice, especially on this stuff. I don't know. I'll try to give this another chance. I haven't played it. I only played it once, and I remember not really liking it that much. But I will give it another chance. I will whenever I get the chance. But it won't be for a little while because I still got other stuff I want to listen to first. Now, talking about some obscure music, okay, I want to show you some of the music that is the most obscure. And I have tried to talk about this on my channel before, but it doesn't get the attention, and I 100% do not expect anybody to really like it the way I do. It was in my household since pretty much since I was born. It's all I can remember, like listening to, and it's strange. I will admit it's strange. And I'm talking about Bruce Hack and the Electric Lucifer. It's such a strange album. Ah, it was almost mythical, in nature growing up. It was the oddball. I used to love listening to the Cat Stevens, and we had Alice Cooper's, Killer, and so on and so forth. There was other stuff in the household that I really liked listening to. Of course, my favorite band at the time was Kiss, with their makeup stuff. I was 3 years old, 3 years old when my uncle Frankie brought in that Kiss album, and yeah, I was hooked, hooked, hooked. But this was always a curiosity in my household. And in 2014, when I was told that I can get this on CD, it blew my mind. My mind was officially blown. Like, because, like, what? And it's such a good sounding. It sounds so much better than it did on that LP that we had. And I didn't even know the name of the guy who did it. I didn't know it was Bruce Hack. All I knew it as was the Electric Lucifer. And then I went into Frank's music and asked him about it, and they said, "Yeah, I can get that." What? No. And subsequently ended up getting more stuff. And so I ended up getting the Electric Lucifer book 2. I ended up getting Hush Little Robot, which is kind of a compilation stuff. It has stuff I don't have and stuff I do have. So I have a lot of those songs from the Electric Lucifer twice. And then the most the and probably the one of the coolest albums and the most adult. Okay, I just say is the most adult album is his Bruce uh, Hackula. Yeah, this is like, and and before that, and this is the last thing I had gotten from Bruce Hack was his Dance, Sing, and Listen with the Miss Nelson, a children's album made for children in the 60s. Yeah, 1963, originally released in 1963, and he was doing all this music for children. Okay, it's an interesting something I don't play often, but I love that I have this. It's just again one of those curiosities. But this here, to go from doing stuff like this to doing this album, where this is a big middle finger to the music industry. That's what this represents. He was disillusioned by the music studios and everything, and thought they were just crap. So he made this album, and it wasn't available for the longest time, because it was so a hot topic. So yeah, this is a huge, huge middle finger to the music industry, and how they crush the artistic value that the artist wants to portray, you know. So I love it, and if you don't know Bruce Hack, you should really check him out, because it is the most oddball music you probably will hear. Some of you might think that, whatever, but to me this is just oddball and so obscure. It's the most obscure music I own. And because of that, because of Bruce Hack, I ended up discovering Dick Hyman and his Moon Gas and his Eclectic Electric albums. There's 3 albums in one in this. I really enjoy all of it, and even with the stuff he does with Mary Mayo, it's very like Star Trekky, like, woo, and but not all the songs are like that. But he uses he uses so many different kind of instrumentations. He'll use like prepared like Hammond organ and on this Martinet, prepared guitar, oscillators, and repurposed door buzzers and kitchen appliances. So a lot of little but like me, but it's so hypnotizing, and I really do love it. Again, I would say it's not for everybody, and if you're just a standard kind of music fan, this would probably not for you. All this is really for me is it's just an oddball curiosity that I really enjoy, especially the eclectic electric the eclectic electric. Yeah, the electric eclectic. That's what it's called. The Electric Eclectic. It starts with the song 13 of the Topless Dancers of Corfu, and it ends with the improvisations in forts and everything in between. It's just yeah, it's interesting. I don't play it too often, but when I do, I always end up enjoying it anyway. So I don't know what you guys would think of that, but I suggest giving it a shot. Who knows? You might like it, you might dislike it. It's all up in the air. And now I want to also talk about stuff that I just recent stuff and older stuff that I'm very very much into, and I want to hear your guys' comments down below of what you guys think of this stuff. Now, lately I've been like some of the other oddball, not necessarily oddball albums, but I don't know. I selected a few here I do want to highlight. I've been lately getting into the Amel and the Sniffers, and especially Comfort to Me. This is such a great rockin' album, and even my best friend really really loves it. My brother really loves it. It's really up our alley. It reminds us so much of the stuff we grew up on, but it's different. It's different, and I love her energy. My favorite song on here would be Security, but the whole thing is so good. It's so good. Um, I need to get more of this group here as talking about another oddball group, and that's the Butthole Surfers. And all I have is the Electric Larry Land. Ha ha, Larry. But this has pepper on it, which is always good. But I do want to get more Butthole Surfers. Absolutely. There's a band recently in the last, like maybe last year or so, that I just gotten into, and I want to get more. Would be Starcrawler, and especially the Devour. I got this, but there's other albums I do definitely want to get from them. And so there's the track list. The first thing I ever heard was Bet My Brains, and I thought it was rocking, but the whole album is rocking, and I need to listen to this again very soon. It will probably be going into the box once I eliminate some of the other stuff out of there for sure. Because that will be going into the box next. Absolutely, because it's so good. Now, and I've always loved this album. I had a bit of an obsession with this album for a while, and that's Voivod Nothing Face. And I do actually want to get some more Voivod because I think they're interesting. How the singer has a very interesting voice, and this album is so meld of like the electronic with the like the it's the whole I consider this a concept album of the electronic world taking over the human form, and they have such an awesome cover of Astronomy Domine by Pink Floyd that I think is just killer, and they make it their own, and it's really fantastic. And now another band that I really play quite a bit because it's such a great album and it has the drummer is Danny Carey from Tool, and the singer of Mastodon, and that would be Legend of the Seagull Man. And yeah, Legend of the Seagull Man, which is you see right here. And I even have a T-shirt about of that too. It was a promotional T-shirt that I was able to get because Dino Lone Records, like it was promoted by a coworker. It was a coworker that was promoting this, and he brought that up, and I got the T-shirt, I got the little poster here, and I went out and bought this because it is good. It is good. And so yeah, I mean, of course, Danny Carey on drums, you can't go wrong, and it has such a, like it says on the poster here, an action-packed, heavy psych fantasy straight from the pages of '60s fabulous like Captain Beyond. And that was reviewed by Revolver magazine. So if that's what they're saying about it, I highly suggest getting into them. And I can't wait and see if they come up with anything else. This is all I know that they have so far. So yeah. Now, a band that I really enjoyed, I don't know if they have any more stuff, but I ever do see any more of their albums, I want to get it, is a band called Priestess. And they have they have Hello Master and Prior to the Fire, and I really do enjoy these albums, and I do want to play them a little bit more. I know I played them a few times already, but every time I play them, I really enjoy them. Now, there's another band that I have a little box set, and I need to get their first album, which is Beg to Differ. But they have a 3 album thing here of Prove You Wrong, Cleansing, and Rude Awakening, and it's heavy. And I really like Prong. If you don't know who Prong is and you like good heavy music, I suggest checking them out absolutely for sure. And another bit of a band that I it's the singer from Skinny Puppy, and I first heard some of their stuff, like just a couple of songs from KMFDM that they did a little collab with on a couple of songs with KMFDM, and it's a band called Ogre, and this here would be Welt. Yeah, this is the album Welt, which is really good. That's the first one I ever heard of them, and I was hooked right away. They have such an industrial sound, and and very very clearly they have this they're against the mistreatment and the people who mistreat animals and stuff. So they're very much pro protecting animal rights and doesn't want to like especially for makeup testing and all that crap, like chemical testing on and stuff. So they're pro animals and stuff, which I love animals, and I hate to see animals being tortured and cruelty to animals and that. So they're against cruelty to animals. That's basically all I want to say. But they have the second album, which I got them pretty much in order. There's more albums from them I need to get, but this is Sunny Psyops, which is really good. The highlight for me on this is Devil, the second song, and Cracker. Those are the 2 songs that I really like the most on there, and yeah, that's probably a good in for that. Then there's of course this, which has Magic, which is another great song, and Watergate. The two songs on here that I highly suggest checking out. Yeah, Magic and Watergate. I love them. But when this album came out and I played it for the first time, it had such a weird, bizarre flow. Hypnotic flow. I can't tell you what song that I like the most because it all sort of blends into each other, and it's a weird and strange ride. So different than these two. But what's slowly and kind of surpassing them all not at first, but the more I listen to it, and it's the one I kind of go back to the most, is Undeveloped. I think this is such a fantastic album. So yeah, so I suggest you check this out. And it has an interesting thing. Song one here, okay. The first title here covers two tracks. The second song, Crash, okay, covers another two tracks. So by the time you get to the third title here, you're on the fifth track. At first, when I first heard this, it was just a little misleading. I was wondering what's going on with that, but that is what's going on. The first title has two tracks, the second title has two tracks, and then from there on it goes to normal. So yeah, that kind of is an oddball little thing that they did on this album, but the whole album, I love it. I just love it. And I need to get more. They have another album called Tricky that I need to get because it is so good. But that is pretty much all what I wanted to cover. And so going back again to to Planet of Song, I'm still waiting for Larry Graves and Glen Calloway to do their CD exchange and hopefully talk about this album because I still want to hear what their thoughts are and that. I'm gonna do my best to leave timestamps to all the pertinent parts of this episode because I know it's a long one and I want you to get to the proper spots and that. But yeah, please check out Great Balancing Act. Show them some love. Go and subscribe to their YouTube channel. There's not too much there, but they have their videos there, and and they also some of their songs is on the Great Balancing Act dash topics, so you can find some videos in that there. Subscribe to everything because I really like them. And so sample those, and yeah, I'll give you a full review, and that's the first thing I'm going to listen to. One last thing before I go is that I have a list of 5 bands here, okay, that are top of the list of what I need to get before anything else. I mean, if I see something like secondhand at the secondhand store or whatever, I will get it. But to buy pretty much brand new, the ones I need to get. Now, the top three are interchangeable. These are no matter what, I need to get them first, and that would be Sparks, King Gizzard, and the Lizard Wizard, and Beatles. I want their whole collection. And I'm focusing more on that than anything else. But then the next two, once I get these top three, I need to get. I need. I'm going to be focusing on getting the rest of the Metallica and Can. Because I know I do enjoy these and I want to get more Can. I don't want to hear any of the albums until I have them in my possession and I can listen to them in the earphones because I'm really do enjoy the two that I have, and which is Monster Movie and Future Days, and I think they're awesome. They keep getting better every time I listen to them. So I do want to get that, but I do want to complete my Metallica. Absolutely. So everybody, I'm going to let you go now, and I thank you all if you've made it this far through my video for sure. And if you are watching this for the first time, please consider subscribing because you know how much I would appreciate that and love you forever. And please leave comments. Tell me what you think of everything. Tell me what you like that I should be checking out and so on and so forth. And yeah, please hit like button. Don't be afraid of the like button. And as always, just please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, just have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.